Hello, my name is Kay and welcome back to House Flipper. Today we are renovating and buying the camping bungalow. We have enough money to do so, and I am so excited to start flipping houses. So, a small house with a plot of land for renovation, but fully equipped. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this and it's very, very small on my editing screen as I'm doing my voiceover, so I may have read some of that wrong. Here's some interior pics of the house, and just a heads up, there will be some speeding up and speeding down. On the left, you can see thumbnails of buyers. From time to time, they will comment on your actions. Pay attention especially to those on the top. The higher they are, the more willing they are to pay for this house. Garden contest. To increase the value of the house, you can take part in one of the garden competitions. After pressing enter, choose the competition category. Yeah, so I did not speed up so much of the whoa flying garbage bag. I sped up here and there, and I did a couple real big cuts. Here we go. It's starting to get a little bit quick now. Otherwise, this video was going to be well over an hour, and I don't know how much fun that would be for anybody watching. So you can just see I'm hosing down the outside of the house. You can reference the mini map in the top right to see some of this dirt disappear. And I also took the time to start weeding. Now, unfortunately, we have not unlocked the weed whacker or the full-blown lawnmower. And I really want to mow the lawn on this house before we sell it, so I did not sell this house at the end of the video. Off camera, I am going to complete some garden jobs so that we can have a better idea of how far and close we are to getting the lawnmower. And this is just a really quick, brief tour of the house, kind of like the befores, this really horrible little kitchen, horrible bedroom, and really gross little bathroom. And I will probably have these segments in real time, not sped up, where I am selling and disposing of trash, depending on how much there is, depending on how big the house is. This is a very, very, very small house. The only house smaller than this is our first office. And early on, the first couple of houses we're going to have access to are pretty much all identical, the layout. There isn't much to them. It's very similar to this size house, a little bit bigger, but with like 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom, like full rooms. You'll see when we get to those. And I don't know how many of those I'm going to be renovating and doing videos on because it starts to get extremely repetitive. So it's the kind of thing where I could always go back and do them later after I do, some more varied renovations. But again, even with the gardening jobs, they're kind of tedious. They aren't super fun. They aren't super enjoyable. In my opinion, I really like the ability to have the garden and plant the flowers and the vegetables. It's fun and it's cool to look at, but actually going through the jobs that they want you to do, at least one of them is a little bit buggy where a piece of trash can fly out of the area. And if you're lucky, you can remove it. And if not, you only complete the job with 99%. That happened to me once. That really bugs me. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be showing. I just want to get my lawnmower. So if I don't include those episodes and you want to see them, I can always go back and redo the job and make a video for those. So I'm starting with the bathroom. And you will see that some items I pay a lot of money for. Like I'm paying a pretty penny here for these wall tiles, but the floor tiles were pretty inexpensive. And you'll notice that these wall tiles have white on the top of them. I did that for a very specific reason, because around the top of the windows, we don't have to use the tiles. We can paint them with white and it looks exactly the same. And white paint is considerably less expensive than wall tiles. You can do the same thing over the door, although you will see here that I forgot my own little strategy. It's coming right up. 1, 2, 3, right there. I should not have placed that tile, but I caught myself and moved on. I have unlocked some skills while working on this house. I have one coming up very shortly here, I believe. There it is, new skill point. So let's see what it was. Did I go to, let's see. I chose tiler, so I can hold up to 5 tiles or panels, like wallpaper or outdoor paneling, at a time, and also tile or wallpaper faster. And this is what I was talking about, going back with the white paint. You cannot even tell. And I always save my materials until I'm kind of pretty much done with a room. And what you're gonna see right here does not stay like this. I took the time to mount these, I was gonna say mount the devices, mount the fixtures, and I decided to change up the layout. So these objects will not stay here. But it's fun to watch them be assembled very, very quickly. So here's where I ran into issues, right? The shower. I tried 2 different showers. I could not get them to fit. And so I decided, you know what? Maybe I don't want a shower there. And that other hookup is for a washing machine. But nothing ever happens with that, except that I end up deleting it and I forget to keep space for it. So the washing machine is a goodbye. But you can see here that I am removing this wall. Now you can only remove interior walls, so I cannot add rooms onto the house. No, what you see is what you get. You can only adjust, modify walls on the inside of the house. And yes, here we are. A new skill point was acquired. So I chose Mason, where the built wall is already painted. So it will, instead of being bricks like that, it will be painted white. And here you go. I did a couple here slowed down so that you can see the difference. It's just nice, one less thing to worry about, especially if you're painting your room completely white already. But I was not, so I had to retile that wall. And I decided to buy a hookup for a bathtub. And I mentioned this in another video that I did. I don't recall if it was on this channel or the guest spot I did for Late to the Game, their channel. But I love hooking up bathtubs. I love putting bathtubs in the game, in the houses. I just think they look really nice. It might have actually been for a video for a series that I was going to start and just phased out. But yeah, I'd prefer hooking up bathtubs over the showers any day in this game. And I actually prefer this layout. I think it looks a lot nicer. The bathroom looks more open than it did with the shower. Like when we first bought the house and we saw what it looked like. Ah, yes. And then I did something that I'm questioning now. I put in the radiator and then I added is that a towel? Yeah, a towel radiator, which is just kind of like double the heat. I don't really think I needed to do that. It wasn't necessary. You could say it was a waste of money, but every time we assemble something, it goes towards our skill building. So it really didn't hurt anything doing that. Got the bathroom mirror going on, and now it's time for some curtains. And I really love these curtains. I use them a lot. I used them a lot more before the luxury pack came out, but I love those curtains. They come in a variety of colors, and there's even patterned ones. I considered using a brown door, and overall, spoiler alert, I tend to use a ton of white doors in my game. I don't know why. To me, they just make everything look bigger and brighter. So I like them. That's what I do. We have one white door at our house. Actually, I think we have 2. Yeah, our front door is white and our door going from the house to the garage is also white. And you'll see that every time I put in a door, pretty much I'm going to go around to the other side of the door and look at it from the other side, because I have a difficult time lining up the doors and I want to make sure that they look okay. And I could have left that little tiny bit of wall up top there, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do, so I broke down these walls, and this was the kitchen, if you recall, and I decided to do half walls here. And I got rid of that fridge. So you could be wondering why I'm just painting the inside of the windows, and it's because I like the way it looks. I think it makes the whole room open up a little bit more. It makes it more dynamic. Oh yes, and I never showed wallpapering until this point. So I bought some wallpaper. There are a bunch of new wallpapers, came with the luxury stuff. This wallpaper, it's one of my very favorites. It's so pretty. And I thought, you know what, let's just use this. I know it's expensive, but I was able to save money in other areas, so let's use this. And I can hold 5 at a time, and it goes up so much faster than tiling. I don't like to tile, I love to wallpaper. I like wallpapering even more than painting. So that's going to be our little bedroom area. And I'm just moving stuff around and finishing up the paint job. So all the painting is done. What do we have here? Ah yes, the lights. So again, where I may cut corners on using some cheaper things, these ceiling lamps right here are a little more expensive. So I wanted to use them. I like the way they look. They're not that much money, but you know, things can add up. They're only $37, but I don't want to use just all cheapy stuff. Now I'm setting up lights over here. The halogen lights are going to be for a little kitchenette area, and this is a good little hack. If you don't have a lot of room and you want to have a kitchen, all you need to do is place one sink and a standing cabinet, and it becomes a kitchen. And if you're not sure what category your room is falling under, underneath your mini map it will say, there will be an indicator, and it went from empty room to kitchen, so now it's a kitchen. And I used way too many white furnishings here. Don't worry, I will be changing some. I don't know why I chose all white. I mean, I wanted to make sure that I would have enough room, like if I wanted to slide this table and chairs down, that I would have enough clearance to get in and out, which I did, but guess what? I ended up moving it back anyway. Putting together the radiator. Now we're going to move on to the living room. So you don't need much for a living room either. Here I am trying to pick out what pattern I want, and I almost went with the white. And I'm like, no, we'll go with the blue. But yeah, I added the couch and it became a kitchenette and living room. And again, an all white table. Why did I do that? I don't know. So I'm gonna buy a TV here, but I'm not actually gonna use a TV. I'm gonna use a computer monitor because it's $109. $109 is much cheaper than the cost of the least expensive television in the game. I will show you right here. The least, there's the really crappy one, but the least expensive TV is the wall mounted. It's $600. So I saved $500 just by using a computer monitor. And this is the bedroom. Now, it's showing that it's you can see now it says bedroom because I'm right on the edge of the room. Now, a room, you don't have to have a door. You can just have the lintels, the half walls up at the top of the room, and it counts as being a bedroom. So there we go. I wanted to put this desk in, wanted to choose a desk chair that was not white, so I went with this pretty powder blue one. And then I decided to do some folding screens to help separate the room. And wouldn't you know, it's white, but it has a pretty little delicate blue flower pattern. It's not the easiest thing to line those things up. I do like having the freedom to move things however I want. as opposed to The Sims, unless you're using move objects. I decided to put in some hanging cabinets in the kitchen. It just looked a little bit empty over there. I mean, it's not a great kitchen. All right, we don't even have a refrigerator. I considered buying a mini fridge, and I'm like, I don't really need all that. It's not really necessary. It counts as a kitchen. That's good enough for me. What am I doing now? Oh, I am buying some rugs. Now, if you look over to the left, our list of potential buyers, there's an elderly couple at the top, and they really love rugs, and they really love wall art. So I always add some wall art and some rugs anyway, but I'm more inclined to add some if they're toward the top of the list. I have sold more houses to them than probably any other individual or family in the game. You have like a nice fluffy rug there when you get out of the bath. What did I add here? Oh yes, I added a mirror for the little bedroom. Let's see. Ah yes, wall art. I kind of went with this fake Thomas Kincaid picture. Reminds me of my mom. My mom really loves cottages and things like that. So I always tend to add little touches that remind me of people in my life that I care about. It's not an always thing, but whenever I see certain things, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I should use that. It reminds me of somebody nice. And now I am hooking up more curtains. They go up so fast and so easily. And yeah, it does completely block off the view to the outside, but I'm not overly worried about it. Nobody's actually going to live here. It is just a game. But I do get in my head a little bit sometimes about like, I would hate if my windows were blocked off like that. Well, then push the curtains aside. There's nothing to worry about. So I'm getting some more artwork out. And I think, yeah, I ended up using the same picture twice by accident. Oh, that's all right. It looks like I fixed it. That's good. Now, the elderly couple prefer 2 plants, unless you start adding a whole lot of plants, and then they're okay with it. But it's either very few or a whole bunch, but in between they're not real thrilled about. And these silly ferns are going to go all over the place before I decide where I actually want them. Also, this is kind of the point where I'm like, I need some more color in here, so let's get some wood tones going on with the furniture. Unfortunately, there is no way to like change the swatch of the furniture. You have to sell it and buy it again, and you don't get all of your money back, but you get a decent amount back. It's not horrible. Yeah, that plant's just taking over. It's just way too big for that table. And I wanted to put kind of like an entry mirror here, even though it's next to the kitchen. It seems kind of weird, but you know, it's all right. Here go the plants. Let's move the plant over here now. Let's rotate the plant. Maybe this plant should go over in here, or maybe over there. This is the point where I realized that I had not assembled the curtains for the bedroom. And now for this bathroom, I decided to add a little bit more light because it's still kind of dark in here. Again, it doesn't really matter, but it was bugging me. So we have our toilet paper holder there. And is this where yes. So I end up trying to put in a washer, and I might have been able to fit it there in front of the door, but I just refused to do that because I probably wouldn't be able to leave the room. And I bought this little bathroom stool, which I've never used these before. I don't know if they're new. They're new to me, at least. And I looked through some of these cabinets and shelves, and I thought, I don't have that much room in here. And I love picking out towels. Not in real life, just in the game. And I have this little towel rack over here, and then of course we need a hand towel. I'm not going to buy them a soap dispenser, but they can at least dry their hands off. And that's when it all clicked. Wait a minute, I can put the fern in here. And this is about it. This is where I'm going to start wrapping things up. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Please leave your suggestions and comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.